This segment is sponsored by New Perspective Financial Solutions. In the wake of mass layoffs, many federal employees are contemplating early retirement. So what should be weighed in the decision-making process? Here to help us out is Tavon Jackson. Tavon is a financial advisor and the founder of New Perspective Financial Solutions, a DC-based firm that focuses on preparing people for retirement. Welcome back, Tavon.
Thanks
Good
for
to see
having
you.
me.
Yes, of course. All right, so what is a VERA and who qualifies?
So it's so much alphabet soup. It's the RIFs, the VERAs, the VSIPs. So the problem with the VERA is that everybody thinks it's a scam. So the initial email that went out was called Fork in the Road. And it pretty much allowed you to, retire early, not work till September and still get paid. And a lot of people, they stayed away from it. They say, oh, that sounds too good to be true, or the government's not funded. And then they got riffed. So what a VERA is, the good thing about it, it's optional, it's voluntary. So what you're able to do is if you're eligible, and what eligibility is that you're 50 with at least 20 years, so 50 or older with at least 20 years, or 25 years at any age. Okay. So what it allows you to do is retire before your minimum retirement age. So if somebody, let's say, is 53 years old and they got 26 years of service, they can just technically retire. Oh. And it's no penalties or anything, and you keep all of your benefits. The only negative of it, though, is that if you retire early, then those are years that you're not contributing to the TSP, so your account's smaller. And your pension will be smaller as well because you won't have the years of service.
Okay, I can see why you would think it's too good to be true because, if you get laid off, that kind of sounds really good. Talk us through the pros and cons, now that we know what it is, of accepting a VERA offer.
Yeah, so the good thing about a VERA, as I mentioned before, is that you don't have to be your minimum retirement age. So typically with the federal government, you have to be like 57 with 30 years, or 60 with 20 years, or 62 with 5 years. So the VERA would pretty much eliminate that. You can instantly be eligible for your pension, because if you get riffed, then the concern is, let's say you're 40 with 20 years, you wouldn't be able to touch your pension until you're 60. That's a long time of not having any income.
Yeah.
And the negatives, as I mentioned, is that you just don't have enough time for your money to grow. So you got to sit down with a financial advisor. You got to put together a plan, because some people can retire today if they wanted to. They just were so comfortable working from home, and they're like, hey, things are convenient, but now that you have to go back to work, sit in rush hour traffic, people are saying, hey, this is the time, and I want to go out on my time, not the government's time. So.
Yeah, so they're weighing their pros and cons there. Yes. Now, how should someone know if they should take the offer or wait?
So putting together the plan is the best way to do it. But it all depends on also what the market is doing. So right now, last 2 years, the market has been doing so well, but this year the market's been crashing. So all those gains are getting taken away from us. So what we would recommend you do is put together a plan where you can turn on another income stream. So the concern right now is that, the administration has, a new idea every single day. And what happens if they cut Social Security? Right. What happens if they cut the Social Security supplement for the federal government? So then your income is short. So we got to put in another, pension just in case they cut all these benefits that we're so used to.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of uncertainty. What if they do this? What if they do that? Yeah, talk about a thrift savings plan. What are some of the smart or wise moves to make during this really uncertain time?
Yeah, well, it depends. It all depends. So if you have 5 years or more and you're still planning on continuing to work and you're in a position where your job is safe, Department of Defense, whatever it might be, what you want to do is you want to keep doing what you're doing. Because if the market goes down, that's a good thing when you're working, because you're buying everything on sale. So when you put money in every 2 weeks, it's like a Black Friday sale, everything's cheap. But if you're getting ready to retire, or you're kind of like on that, am I gonna get riffed or VERA, then you wanna be more conservative. So being more conservative doesn't mean moving it all to the G fund, because then you never know when to get back in. Right. But we do have investments that are insured from any loss, but still allow you to get some of the upside of the market.
You really make people feel a little bit better about what might happen. It's hard, but you do a good job. Thank you so very much.
No worries.
For you at home, if you want to make sure you're on the right track for retirement, New Perspective Financial Solutions has an offer for you. Tavon wants to help preserve and continue to grow your money while also helping you create a reliable income stream. So right now, for the first 5 callers and anyone else with a portfolio of $250,000 or more, he's offering a complimentary retirement income plan. This will allow Tavon's team to sit down with you personally or schedule a call to make sure you're on the right track for retirement. The number to dial is 240-335-8366. Again, that's 240-335-8366.